In future years, you may want to celebrate Sukkot with a Sukkah kit, which is commercially sold and allows you to build your own Sukkah or booth on a deck or any open space that you have. So this is a very simple kit that I'm going to show you. It's 6 foot by 8 foot, which will create a rectangle, and there's a roof. There are 5 bamboo poles, which I needed to purchase separately. They have notches in them, which go on top of the metal that holds the structure. Is just a metal box, and the bamboo is needed to be put on top of the metal so that the roof does not rest on metal, which is considered artificial. The wood, the bamboo, is more natural. And I'll open up the kit next, but just to show you what it comes with, there are 4 of each of these poles. Now, the middle pole, the left and right poles are used to make the 6 foot by 8 foot, the base and the roof, and then the middle poles are used to hold up the roof, and there are notches. So you could see that these fit in to these slots, and I'll show you when I construct it. But there are also these notches, and these are used to hold these bands, which are called Moedim bands, and that is a religious term, because in order for the sukkah to be constructed according to the laws in the Bible, metal is not considered good enough as a material for a sukkah. So as an alternative, we put these bands through these notches. So these indicate the bottom. So the base will be made from these 12 metal things, and the uprights will have the notches, and then we'll put the bands in last. Okay. Now the roof is very special. It's called a shach, and it comes with a kosher certification. So it is an investment. So I got this in 2011. Wow. So, yeah, if you ever sell it or transfer it, you can certify that this roof meets the requirements. And what is interesting, it is just poles of wood connected by fishing line. So if you're ambitious, you might want to make one yourself. But this is what's available. And then once the structure is in place, this kit has the material that covers the sides. It makes the walls and the windows. And I'm going to unpack it and show you the full length. And just some tools, simple tools. You'll need a mallet to get the metal pieces to go in securely, and some bungee cords. If you're putting it on a deck or any place where the wind can blow, you want to secure the bottom of the structure to your deck or other place. So you need some way of securing it to the ground. How about tent pegs? When you're purchasing a sukkah kit, you want to do your research first online and find a reliable company, and give them a call and talk to them about your needs. How big is it, and what are you going to need? How much is it going to cost? So I'm just showing you the one that I got. Okay, what you're seeing is the material that will go on, that will form the walls of the sukkah. So this big netting here is the door. So if you have a slider door that's an entrance to a deck, you want to make sure that the door is in the right place. So what we are looking at is the inside of the sukkah. So there's a zipper to open up the door, and there are little pegs. I'll show you that later. So the Velcro is used to attach on both sides to the metal structures. And here's a window. And another window. so you can see how big this is. So as you're setting up the beams for your sukkah, if you feel any resistance, it means that you're doing it the wrong way. So with a few trial and error, I had to figure out that this is the way it is supposed to be put together. So these beams come together at a notch, and then the vertical beam fills in the notch, and there should be no resistance when these square things go over the hooks. And then the Moedim band hooks are on the outside. So the walls will be on the outside of the structure, so you'll be able to still put the bands through these hooks when you're inside the sukkah. So what you want to do is get like 2 beams up and then put the cross beam on the top. So when you put the cross beam on the top, you want to use the mallet to hammer in the cross beam into that square hole so that it is secure and that you have it standing securely on all sides. And then you repeat with the other beams. So be careful when you're on a step ladder doing this, and expect a few tries until you get it right. Okay, so once you have the frame up, it should be pretty secure and standing on its own. Just make sure that these things are in as much as you can. They'll be easy to get out, but just by tapping on the bottom, it'll pop right out when you need to disassemble it. So what I recommend you do is get everything that you're going to need inside the structure, because once you put the wall up, you can only get out one way. At this point is a good idea to secure your structure to a permanent deck, a permanent structure, using bungee cords. So it's very simple, just put it around, snap it in, and move it to the outside. Okay, so now it is secured to one of the posts on the deck. Do that on all 4 sides. Okay, if you like Velcro, you're gonna have a lot of fun with this. The roof is secured to the metal with the Velcro, and you start with this post, just securing the leftmost edge. Then you have the door, and then make sure I brought the poles inside here because that's going to be for the roof, so that I have it. And then you just keep draping the walls around your sukkah. So when you wrap it all the way around and you come back to your starting point, there's Velcro on the left of this panel to secure it to the back of this panel, and little strips to further secure it. Okay, so Velcro is very strong, and then you have all the fun of the Velcro on the bottom. And those go underneath and around. So get all your Velcro secured, and you're already starting to appreciate the blessing of this shelter. It's a temporary shelter, but imagine yourself in the desert, and today it's a pretty hot day with the sun out, and you could feel Yahweh protecting you from the hot sun already as you're building this. And then when the roof goes up, you'll feel it again, and then you'll have many blessings inside it as you celebrate Sukkot. Another wonderful meltah is that you can learn how simply doors and windows were made on structures like this just by tying little threads together with pegs. Okay, so after you completed all your Velcro fastening, you want to put the bamboo or whatever you're using to support the roof on top of the structure in an equidistant pattern, but you're going to need to get the roof through it. So you'll need to move one of them aside to make room for that, and then lay it flat and then roll it out. Now, Yahweh gave us this Moed as a gift for ourselves to appreciate the simplicity of life and to go back and think about the Exodus from Egypt and living in the desert and receiving the Torah. And look at this little gift he gave. The moon can be seen during the day from the Sukkah. Okay, so now you can see how you start rolling out the roof. So it is an open roof that you're not isolated from the heavens. You have little cracks opening up for the divine to enter. So you continue rolling out the roof. And then what you want to do to make sure it doesn't blow away is to put wood blocks on top of it on each end to secure it, to make sure that wind won't blow it up and take it away. Okay, our roof is up and it's beautiful, and you can see the sun peeking through the roof. The next step is to put the Moedim bands on. So they secure and they fit into these slots in the posts. So it's just a little clasp, and then you bring it around and secure it in each post. And then you open up the windows and look out upon Yahweh's beautiful world. And here's a window that also lets in air. An important aspect of Sukkot is to make it personally meaningful for you. For me, these are little peas that I grew this summer. And for me, what that meant is I had to prove to myself that I am capable of growing plants in containers on my deck. So this means a lot to me, to have these little peas that I can harvest. And another thing, there are many rules that you could learn about Sukkot and the traditional plants that you bring into the Sukkah, like the myrtle and the willow. You can search for that all online, but use your discernment to figure out what works for you. Just something personal to me. This is a box, and those Hebrew letters are etrog, and that is the traditional fruit that is used in the Sukkah. It looks like a lemon, but it's grown in Israel, and then this little box is used to hold the etrog. It has a little clasp, so you can see it's a big fruit, so you need a big box to hold it. And look at the design of this woodwork. And this box has special meaning to me because it was made by a friend who passed away from cancer, and he did this loving woodwork. He made many wooden products, and his wife sold them after he passed away, and that's when I got this. So make your holiday personally meaningful to you. When your Sukkah is complete, you want to give thanks to Yahweh, Yeshua, and the Ruach HaKodesh for their blessings and the gifts that they have given you at this season, for everything that they provide. This Sukkah is a provision. And make a personal communion. This is unleavened bread, or matzah, and it represents the body of HaMashiach as we remember his sacrifice. If you want to have wine, I recommend a wine not made with grapes, like blackberry wine. The Nazarenes did not drink products made from grapes, so it's in commemoration of the Nazarenes with whom Yeshua was associated. So let this teaching be written upon your heart, so that you discern the best way for you to thank Yahweh and Yeshua and the Ruach HaKodesh for the gifts that they give you every day. And I also see it as a gift that after all the soul searching of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, and we've made it through that cycle and we're ready, we've repented and we're turning in new directions and new years. May it be for a blessing for all of us, especially in this year with the challenges we have faced. fact that we can enjoy this freedom that Yahweh gives us every year on Shabbat and special Moedim. This is the last Moedim until Passover, Pesach, which will be in the spring. Okay. Keep your wicks trimmed, your lamps lit, and Yahweh willing, we'll be together.